So today's good morning one and all. Today's class we are now dealing with special concept of strings called as string methods. Very important because using this we will be dealing with lot of programs. So today's class we'll just look into it. So I want you people to understand when I work upon the demo session. So last class we had seen about introduction to strings, length of the string, traversing a string, string slices. Strings are immutable, very important, which is important for our string methods too. In operator followed with programming assignment and the demo. Right? So today's agenda is about dealing with string methods. So there are several string methods available, out of which few I will mention. The rest is of your interest to look into it, right? Followed with the demo and the assignment. Okay. So string methods, when I talk about, as you all know, every string is an object of which class, students? Which class?
STR.
Yeah, it's an object of class str, and you also know that when I tell that it's an object of class str, you also know that every string object, since it's instance of the class, every class will have its own methods which will work upon those objects. So when I have methods, methods can do some what do you tell, some operation on the invoking objects, some operation, right? Or some modification. But remember, since the strings are immutable, so what do you understand by immutable?
They cannot be modified.
Be modified. Whatever transformations that I do or whatever modification that I do on a particular invoking string, the interpreter will create a new string, right? So it will not update your original string because it is not possible for it to update. Remember, because they are immutable. So every method of string class, that is str class, will create a new string giving the respective modification or the transformation. Okay, so we will see when we deal with examples, you will know better. So we will first deal with 5 string methods, which I have just stated here. You can just see the first method is capitalize, right? So as the name only indicates, capitalize, it is a method which returns a new string. So and again, I will not tell you it returns a new string. It's understood. Because strings are immutable, I cannot modify my original invoking string. I can create a copy with the modification. It is cloning, right? It is cloned with modification, right? So wherein the first letter is capitalized and all other characters will be lowercase. So capitalize means that. Okay. The next method is upper. As the name indicates, what does this method do for me? It will create a new string, which is where all the letters are what, students? In what type? What type? Students?
Uppercase
Capital.
letter.
Uppercase. So here in capitalize, first letter will be capitalized. Try to understand. Whereas in the uppercase, all the letters will be converted to uppercase letters, irrespective whether it is an uppercase or a lowercase. Remember. Next is about the lower. As the name indicates, again, this creates a new string which converts all the characters into which case letters? Lowercase. Okay. Next is about swap case. So as the name indicates, what does this particular method do for me? What does this method do for me? Swap case.
If the string is in capital, it will make it into lowercase, and if it is lowercase, it will make it into capital.
Okay. So swap case is a method wherein it will convert all the uppercase letters to lowercase, okay, in a string, not the entire string, okay. So whatever characters are in uppercase, that becomes lowercase. Whichever characters are in the lowercase, that becomes to uppercase. swap case. It will reverse the cases, not the entire string. See, this will do the entire string to upper, this will do entire string to lower. But swap case, every character will be swapped with its case. Okay. Next is a title. Title is a one which returns a string wherein the first letter of each word will be capitalized, which we call it as title cased string. See, you might know the difference between capitalize and title. In capitalize, first letter only will be capitalized. Whereas in title, every first letter of every word, first letter of every word will be capitalized. So title cased string it is. Is that clear? Is that clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So moving on to the demo portion of the same, I'll first cover that so that you can have some programs. Is this visible, students? Is this visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So first I'm just creating a string. So st is equal to, just to illustrate, I have taken like this, Python programming. Okay. So you can observe the cases there. Then fine, I will display the string. So when you display the string here, why am I getting this? Print st. Display the string. 1 second, yeah. Okay. So display the string. So you can observe the string comes as it is with respect to whatever you have stored in st. Okay. The next is, obviously you all know that if I give type of st, so what does it print, students? What's type of my st? It belongs to which class? st belongs to which class, students?
Class str.
Yeah, so it is of str. Now, in order to know what are the different methods of class str, right? So I have a method or I have a function called as dir. In dir, I have passed the st, which is my string object, like this. Okay. So if I execute this, can you see? It provides all the items which are there in my class str. So these are all variables, right? So we will not deal with that now. So can you see below to this? So can you see capitalize? Yes. Yes or no? Right? So these are all the methods which are available. Can you see? Is index, is alpha, is alnum, is ASCII, right? So you can see here lower what I just discussed now. Then lower is there. See all these methods, R index, R find, replace, right? Split. Can you see split method here? Then swap case, title, right? Upper. So like this, there are several methods available here, out of which we will deal 50% of that, not the entire thing. The other things you will have to just explore. Is that clear? Is that clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
The syntax of using any method, as I already told you, give first the string object, which is my invoking object, followed with a dot, and then the method name. Okay. So the methods might take arguments or may not take arguments. It is dependent on the method. And remember, every method creates a new string object and then returns it without modifying the invoking string. Without modifying the invoking string. Try to remember it. Right. Now, usage of the capitalized method I have just given, and my string goes like this. Right? st is equal to Python programming. S1 is my modified string st dot capitalize. So if I print S1, can anybody guess what happens? For the above example, capitalize method, what does it do?
It capitalizes the first letter of the word
letter.
Python.
Okay. How about programming P?
Lowercase p.
It will convert all others lowercase except the first letter in the string. So let us just print it. Can you see the updation? Yes, Python programming where P gets capitalized. Remember here, the invoking string remains unmodified. It will not be modified. Suppose if I print this, see the below one, it is same as what I have created. This is because strings are what, students? Immutable. You cannot modify it. Using that, you can create a new copy, but you cannot modify. Is that clear? And you can see here, capitalize does not take any arguments, but returns a new string, modified string. Is that clear, students? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Use of lower. Can anybody tell me? Use of lower. Okay. What is the output of this program? What does S1 contain? What does S1 contain?
All lowercase letters of Python
Of Python
programming.
programming. So all lowercase. You can observe here, there was one uppercase P which gets converted to lowercase. All lowercase. Right? Suppose say if P was also lowercase one, what it would do? It would modify it, or it is the same?
Same, ma'am.
Same, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So you can see it is the same. Okay. If there is any uppercase, it will convert it to lowercase. That's its job. Fine. Next, any lowercase to, sorry, if there is any uppercase, it converts to the lowercase. That's the job of lower. So lower makes sure that all the characters in the modified string should be of lowercase. Lowercase. Yes? Right? So it should be of the lowercase. So you can see here. So P, which was capital, becomes a lowercase letter there. What is the output of this uppercase now? Upper method. Upper method, what is the output? Students, what does it S1 contain?
Capitalized Python programming.
Programming. So all letters will be converted to which case, students? The uppercase. Right? It all converts to the uppercase letters. Next. Right? Next is a swap case. Any idea what does this do? What does
It
S1
converts all letters to the uppercase since it is in the lower case.
Okay. How about P?
It converts into lower case.
Lower. So all lowercase will be converted to
Uppercase.
and lowercase will be converted to, sorry, all lower will be to upper and uppercase will be converted to lowercase. Very simple. Is that clear? Is it clear,
Yes,
student?
ma'am.
Okay. Next, title. As you all know, it returns a string in the title case format. So you all know what is title case format, right? What is title case format? Every first letter of every word should be
Uppercase.
capitalized. Okay. What is the output of this one?
Letter P of both the case gets converted
Every
to
uppercase. You can see Python and programming. So difference between title and capitalizers. Capitalize would have capitalized only P of Python, whereas title will do it P of Python and as well as P of programming. Is that clear? Is that clear, students? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The next methods of string are very important. Count method and starts with and ends with method. So already in the previous class you have written a program for count, right? But already there is a method available. So in exams they might ask you, do not use the built-in method. So you have to write a program on your own, right? So the count is very simple. This method returns the number of occurrences of the substring in the given string, right? The syntax is like this. So you should have the invoking object dot count. You give the substring as a first argument. whose count is to be found. So substring can be a single character or of multiple characters, left to you, right? And there are two optional arguments which is called as start and end. So what is it start and end means, right? The starting index within the string where your search has to start and where your search has to end. So by default, what is start and end? If I don't give start and end, by default, what part of the string it will be searching? Count the number of occurrences. By default, student. Full string. Start is beginning, end is the end of the string. The entire string will be considered if you don't give start and end. But if you give start and end, only within that part of the string, it will check whether the substring is present. If so present, gives its count. Understanding? Yes. Similarly, we have starts with and ends with. So as name only indicates, you can know that these two methods will return a Boolean value. Returns true if the string value they are called on begins or ends with the string passed to the method. So these two methods, we can have three arguments, right? So what does it do? It returns true if the string starts with whatever substring you have given as an argument. If not, returns false. Similarly, ends with also does the same, whereas it checks whether the string ends with the substring or not. As again I told, start and end are optional. It depends, right? You can give or you may not give, but if you don't give, it will search the entire string. Is that clear? Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So let us see the example of count. So I have just given the example like this. So what is the return type of count? What is it return? Return type.
Boolean.
Pardon me? Count.
Integer.
Integer. Because it gives the number of occurrences. Now can anybody tell me what is the result of CT here? What does it print?
1.
1. The reason because you can see the Python is a substring that I'm trying to count. How many times it occurs? Once.
Once.
Similarly, now you wrote a program actually, right? So I give something letter like R, single letter. How many times R is appearing in my program? I mean in my string, ST.
Once.
How many times?
Once.
Twice.
2.
So it should now print 2. Yes, right? And I can give the indexing also. Suppose I give indexing like this, 0 to 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And remember, when I give the range, so 0 to 5, it will consider or 0 to 4. Always. Range when I tell
0 to 4.
0 to 4. Okay. So you can just see now, is R present within the range 0 to, the start 0 and end 5? Is R present? Is R present? No. So what is the value of CT now? What is the value of CT?
0.
0. It gives me 0. Okay. See, what is the index of n? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you expect the answer? 0 or 1? N, I am trying to find out for n.
0.
1.
It is 0. Remember, end when I tell, it is always 1 less than to it. So don't get confused. Always, whether it is list slicing, tuple slicing, anywhere you specify the range, right? It will be always 1 less than the stop argument. You can see that's what the example here is. See, if I would have given as 0 to 6, what would be the answer for CT? 1, 2, 3,
One.
4.
1.
Right? 1. Right? So remember that. Is that clear? So if it is not there, it gives 0. If it is there, it will give it. So you can specify the ranges. Right? Depends upon your program. The next is about starts with and ends with both returns true, provided the string starts with the substring. Okay. What is the answer for this now? What does flag contain? Is my ST
True.
with Python? Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the value of flag then?
True.
True. It gives me a value called as true. Very simple as it is. Suppose say I will just remove this P. What is the value that I get? Or what does flag contain? What does flag contain? Is my
False.
false? Why? Because see, when I tell starting, this substring should be at the index 0. Right? See, YTHON is present, but it is not at the index 0. Starts with, it checks whether it is at the index 0. It returns false. Right? Suppose say I give program. What does it do? What does it return?
False.
Return. Program is there in my string. What does it return? Students?
But string is starting with Python word, no, ma'am. So false.
False. So it is false again. So remember, this is what it does. Okay. So now I will give like this a range 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, comma, some range I will give. So say for example, 7, 15, I'm saying 20 there. Fine. What about the answer with respect to this?
True.
Why? Because at the 7th index, it is now, I have to search only from my 7th index of ST. So you can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is my starting point and it starts with program. Yes, so it should be 0 there. Sorry, it should be true there. Can you see? It is true. Okay. Is that clear, students? Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
The next is about ends with. So I have given again the same thing, ends with ing. Yes, it ends with ing. So what is it written? What does flag contain? Flag contains what value, students, here? What value does it contain?
True.
True.
Okay. Suppose I give ends with on something. So obviously the string, see this is, don't get confused. This whole thing which is made up of 2 words is a single string because these 2 are enclosed with the double quotes. It's a single string. So what about the answer for this?
False.
Yes? Is that clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next set of methods, what we have is, I changed this, I did not change, okay, fine. So something called as these methods, you can just check. The name only tells you what they are. E is upper, E is lower, right? E is alpha, E is digit, E is alnum, E is space, E is title. Fine. Can anybody tell me what all this will check? It will check whether all the letters in my string are in what case? Uppercase. If they are in the uppercase, it returns what, students? It returns what value?
True.
Value true. Else it is a false. Very simple as it is. E is lower. So the question is only telling you E is lower. Is all the characters in the given string in the lower case. Return true, else false. Is alpha. What do you mean by is alpha? Is alpha means what? Checks whether all the characters in my string are what? Alphabets. If at all, if my string contains digits or any special characters, so it will not give me true. It will give me false. So all the characters in my invoking string should be alphabets. So when I tell alphabets, what are the alphabets here? Which are all my alphabets? Capital A to Z and small A to Z. Yes? Is that clear? So is digit again returns true. The string has at least one letter compulsory and all the letters are digits. So what are my digits, students? All letters should, it is not a single letter, remember? All letters. The digits are 0 to 9. So is alnum will return true if the string contains what, students? Letters as well as numbers, both. So is space will return true if the string contains only white spaces. When I tell white spaces, it can be a blank space or a new line or a tab. All those are white spaces. So is title again checks whether the string is of what case, ma? What case? Students. What case it should be? A title case. Yes? Yes or no? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So these methods are sometimes also called as is X string methods. So don't get confused. Why it is called? Because all the methods starts with the word is. So they are called as is substituted with some name. Is upper, is lower, is digit, is alpha, like that. Okay, is X string method. So in your exam, if they ask explain is X string methods, don't get panicked. These are all is X string methods. So usage of is lower. Okay, can anybody guess what is the answer for this? Quickly. True or false?
False.
False. Why?
False.
Why
P are
false?
in capital. P are uppercase.
First letter is in capital. So definitely it gives me a false. So if I just convert it to small, what is the output?
True.
Yes. So all the characters should be lower. Right. Similarly, how about this?
True.
It returns true or returns false?
False, ma'am.
False, because is upper will check all the characters to be in uppercase, but you can find only P is in uppercase. See, it will not convert. Try to remember, it will check is upper. Is all the characters in uppercase? Definitely this will give me false. Give me the answer for this. Okay. Can anybody guess answer for this?
True, ma'am.
Why? How does it execute? What does it do
Ma'am,
first?
first it converts it into uppercase and then
Yes.
it will check whether it is upper.
Upper. And remember, when I do all such operation, will ST be modified?
No, ma'am. It creates a new string.
New copy of the string. So this will return true. Yes? Right. Use of is alpha. Okay. What is the answer for this?
True, ma'am.
True. True, ma'am.
It's giving me false.
White space is included.
Okay. See, white space will not be included. No. It should contain only alphabets. That's all. Now what does it give?
True.
No.
True.
True. Right? See, you cannot give even special symbols also. So it will become false. So your string should entirely get only characters. Sorry, only alphabets. Either it could be a capital or a lower. No problem. Okay. Is digit. So what's the answer for this?
True, ma'am.
It's true. Okay, suppose I give like this.
False.
False. Because it contains now some letters. Everything should be a digit there. Next. Alnum. What is the answer for this quickly?
True.
It can contain both digits as well as alphabets, but not special symbols. Very important. So you don't have any method to check whether it is a string having a special method. No. You can check whether it is containing only characters, only digits or characters. Combination of this. What is the output of this now?
False.
False. Okay. Next. Key space. Key space. What's the output? What is the output, students? You
True,
can see
ma'am.
space here, then one 2 is here, then one /n is here. What is the output? Key space checks what? All the characters should
False,
be
ma'am.
as white space. Okay, it returns true or false?
False.
False.
Why
False, ma'am.
false?
All the characters are not space.
Okay, which is not space there? Which is not a space?
Before n.
Oh my god. /n is a space. What is a /n?
Two is
New character. New
New
line.
line character. New line character is a collection of space. Okay. 2 is a digit here. So 2 is not a space. Let us see what will happen. Returns false. See, if I remove 2, what do you expect the answer?
True, ma'am.
True. Because /n is a collection of space. So remember, /n, /t and a single space. They're all, shall I execute? Okay. See like this, if I give, this will definitely give me false because 2 is there. But if I remove true, this should give me what? What's my answer?
true.
All spaces, white space means space, tab, new line. All these threes are white spaces. Combination of white spaces are /t and /n. Okay, so you state the last thing. Okay, can anybody give me the answer for this? True or false?
False, ma'am.
False.
False.
Why? Because title case means every word should be capitalized. But you can see it is not. Now,
True.
is that clear? Right? Right or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. I have the assignment for you. Fine. The first program tells you to read a string from the user, display the count of uppercase, lowercase, digits, and spaces in the read string. How can you count the number of words? So number of uppercase, lowercase, digits, and spaces in the read string. What should you do, students? What should you do?
Use exec string method.
Okay, so first what should you do? You should traverse every character in the string, right? Understanding and check whether every character is what? Is upper, is lower, or is digit, or is space. Are you understanding, students? Are you getting? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you should traverse every character in the string. So for example, ht is equal to Python something I'll give space 3 something. Okay, right? So what should you do? For I in st, so I is a single character, but it is a string. If I dot is upper, If it is true, you should have one variable count, that is upper count. So for example, upper count plus equals to 1, like that. Right? Then what condition you should give here? If it is not uppercase, it should be what? Elif? Yes or no? Understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So like that, you just try to do it. The next program to be done is that swaps the cases of a read string without using inbuilt method. So which is the inbuilt method for swapping the cases? Which is the inbuilt method? Which is the
Swap case.
swap case. But you should not use, without that you should swap the case. How will you do it? Any idea? Again,
With the ASCII value.
huh?
With the help of ASCII values.
With the help of string methods, you can easily do, no. This all will be based on string methods only. Don't go for ASCII, well, swap. What should,
Yes, ma'am.
okay,
But-
how will you do it? Read every character in the string, then check whether the character is what. If it is upper, you should convert it to
Lower.
if it is lower, you should convert it to
Upper.
and generate a new string. Try doing it. You can do it. Not a problem. Okay, this first one, second one, and this last one, you can try doing it. Third one also you can try if possible, right? Write a program to check the validity of a password which is inputted from the user. So if I enter one password, you should check the validity of a password. So what is it? Your password should contain one letter between lowercase, one letter between A to Z, uppercase, at least. Then one number it should contain one character from only these special symbols, and minimum length is 6, maximum length is 60. See, all these programs to be done using string methods only. Nothing else. Can you do this? Fourth one? Is it possible?
Yes, ma'am.
Try doing it. First, you should get the count. How many are lowercase? How many are uppercase? How many are digits? How many are special symbols? You should know how to track this. Only these special symbols are allowed. If I give exclamatory mark, it is not allowed. You cannot get it. Okay. And then give the validation for this. Let's see. Okay. The last program checking whether it is a panagram or not. Panagram means a sentence that contains all the alphabets in my word, in the sentence. So you can see from here to here, the 5 boxing wizards jump quickly. You can observe it contains all the alphabets from A to Z, A, B. So you can see all the alphabets. Check the program for the same. First 2, 4 is using string methods. This is your normal program. You can just work on it. Is that clear, students? Is that clear? Take a snapshot if you want. I'll display it. Anyways, you can take a snapshot. Any doubts, ma? Thank you. You have any doubts, students?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So last question before I take that means, does string methods modify the invoking string?
No, ma'am. They'll create a copy.
No, ma'am.
No. Rather, it creates what?
Creates a copy.
New copy of string.
It's a new string with the modifications. Yes? Okay. Try doing the programs. We'll see in the next class. Thank you, students. Any doubts, you can ask me. Otherwise, you can put them in.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.